It's you and me, no place I'd rather be. Ding dong, hello, let's make this house a home.
Welcome to Spencer and Sarah's house.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, hey. I meant to tell you, I listened to that Hyam song you told me about. Now I'm in it.
Yeah.
I am obsessed. You were right. It's good. It's getting me into them.
And I listened to The Altar and that first song, Gemini.
Gemini Feed? That one?
Yeah.
My favorite line is, you think you could get me to the altar, like I'd follow you around like a dog needs water. Follow me.
I feel it.
Could have let it go. You could have kept my love. It's funny you bring this up because I got into Banks because of our friend Johanna.
Mm-hmm.
I also totally forgot. I've seen Banks live at the House of Blues in Chicago.
You did.
I've literally been to a Banks concert and it was great. Anyway, Johanna, I guess, is now listening to the podcast because she texted me yesterday and was like, love you and Sarah talking about Banks. And there is a line in Propaganda that is so good at the beginning. She says, you must have been born reciting the most poetic ride or die death wish. And I was like, what? I missed that completely. And so Johanna's a huge, for anyone listening, our friend Johanna is a huge Banks fan, loves Banks, has been following Banks for, I don't know, probably since she started. She knows a lot about her. Yeah. Johanna says her ex-boyfriend wrote Godless about her and showed it to her, and he said he didn't know how to finish it, and so Banks said, I'll finish it, and that's how that song came to be. How insane is that?
That's crazy.
And I was thinking about, you need to listen to, oh my god, hold on. I think it's called Serpentina. Is that the new? No, that can't be right. Oh yeah, it is. Like her last album from 2022, Serpentina. There's a song on there. Well, all of them are good. I just want to show you a few, or I would like to point out a few that you must absolutely listen to if you don't listen to the album. Yep. Holding Back.
Yep.
The Devil.
Yep.
The Devil will fuck you up. I saw The Devil live and almost lost my fucking shit. Skinny Dipped is the best song right now in my brain. It's... And then the last song, I Still Love You.
Okay.
Good.
I'll tread carefully with that one, but yeah, I'll go in.
Let me tell you. The first time I heard it, I was like, well, fuck me then. You know? Like... It ruined me. But it's great. She's just amazing.
I love that there's so much like Banks music available, because I feel like I keep finding artists that only have like one album or like a few songs. There's so much, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And shout out to Johanna. Thank you, because I heard about Banks through Johanna, and Johanna's the reason I went and saw Banks live, and man, changed a lot of my life for me. So
hell yeah.
God, Banks is just incredible. But yeah, I love Gemini Feed. That's
so good. So
good. Yeah. That chorus. Thank you, God. Take me to the altar.
So good. Great. Wow.
You were so depressive. Oh, fuck me. If you listeners, please listen to Banks.
Highly recommend.
I cannot wait for you to listen to Skinny Dipped. It's like really at the top of my list.
Hell yeah.
Time list, not like current, like lifetime list. Skinny Dipped top 5. It's. I almost want to be like, can you just go listen to it right now?
I can. I'll just cut this from the thing if you want.
Let's do it after the episode.
Great. Oh yeah, we can do that.
We'll do it on our off time.
Yeah. Cool. Well, how are you doing? Are you okay?
When you turned your head, I just saw like flakes legs of your headphones coming down again.
No.
It's like
Oh God!
out.
It set my brain. Oh, I see them on the floor.
Oh my God, that was so funny. It was like just like raining down the moment you turned your head, and you're like so oblivious. I was like, we just talked about this.
Oh my God. Oh.
So sorry. I apologize.
That's okay. Are you okay?
I was like choking on my coffee.
I just saw like liquid like spray out just one direction. I was like, oh. Oh.
I have to move my mic for a second. I don't think I can look at you right now. I'm just gonna look the other way.
Yeah.
Just give me like 5 minutes and I'll be able to look at you again.
That's fine.
We can start though. It's okay. I'll just avoid eye contact for now.
Cool. That sounds good. Our episode today is the 28th episode, and so we're also 28 right now, so we're gonna talk about being 28 in our 28th episode and what that experience has been like.
It's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Okay. I've returned.
Welcome.
God. You know what though? You gotta take the laughs when they come, okay? Sometimes it's few and far between.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see that replay.
I'm telling you. Yeah. So 28. Wow.
28.
Oh, that's wild. We're like 10-20% through life now. Is that a thing? What's the statistic? Let's assume we're gonna live to be 100.
We're over 25%.
Wow. Weird. That doesn't feel like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the first thing I like about being 28 is that it's an even number. Being an odd numbered age, I feel like a lot of terrible things have happened to me on my odd numbered years.
Fair. That's fair. I feel like I entered 28 being like, let's go. And I was like, 28 felt really good. I felt like I was like, this finally feels like an age that fits me.
Yeah, I actually feel like I got a lot together over this last year. Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm still like I finally found a therapist that I feel like I like get along with, and we are on the same wavelength a lot of the time, and I've made a lot of progress that way. And like really grew into my own this year. It feels like.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I had to clear my throat.
God.
I think I would describe 28 as this, of like a lot of giggles, but also a lot of just struggling to like get through anything. That's how it's been feeling for me.
Yeah, it's like if you don't laugh, you'll cry, honestly. This was kind of my year of apathy too, where I'm like, things don't have to be world ending.
Yeah.
I have to care. But I feel like sometimes it veered a little too much, like, what happens, happens. Fuck it. but not in a good way.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've been like, this was a year where I found like such great stability in my life, but then it also like uncovered so many things, like emotional things that were just like hidden under the surface that I was like not acknowledging before. So like all of that has come to the surface that like luckily I've got a therapist now to like help me go through that. So I'm in a place where I'm like, now everything is like good. And like when hard things come up, it's okay. And I can feel those things and it's okay. But for a while, it was a really big struggle.
Totally. Yeah. Adulthood's just really strange. Sometimes I feel like I'm still like a little kid, just in like an adult body, being like, what the hell's going on? Like, life is just so complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it seems like I feel like I've always pictured being an adult of like it being like this like solidified case closed kind of thing, and like now I'm like realizing, oh no, like you're gonna continue to go through new things. Even like the older you get, you're still gonna experience new things because you haven't been that age yet. Which
Yeah.
I hate, but it's gonna happen anyway. So
Yeah, the idea of like there's more to come, just like from life.
mm-hmm.
Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like something else that you and I share too is like growing into this idea of like there's something going on in the universe. We don't know what it is, but like it just doesn't feel like well, maybe you don't agree, but I feel like you do. Where it's like I don't think this is like it. There's a lot of things happening. You just need to like enjoy your experience that you're having right now because it can change.
Yeah.
All the time.
I agree. I feel like it's like I've been, especially because I feel like I've been in a place of like questioning everything and what anything means, that like I'm trying to find this balance of like what things are like real and tangible and everything, but then also like magic. I feel like I want to believe in magic and like magical things, and so it's like trying to like combine the two and be like, what makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a fun little thought. I think it was last week. I was walking, and this happens a lot frequently, where like I'll be like in my head mulling over something over and over and over again while I'm walking, and then a tree branch will like tap me on the head, like it feels like a little kiss from a tree branch, and I always take it as like a you don't have to think about that anymore, and it's like a little like reminder to be in the present, and like it's been so fun thinking of it that way.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's been nice because it doesn't feel like I'm not walking into the branch. It's just like a little tap on the head, and I'm like, huh. It's great.
I love things like that from nature. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been kind of thinking a lot about just like life in general now, being an aunt and like watching the babies grow up and like seeing them learn things for the first time and like becoming humans. Like I was thinking about it like the first time they smiled and I'm like, how do they know that that's like something that makes them happy, you know? Like they're not going to remember this, you know, at this stage later, but like I don't know, it's just it makes me think a lot about like we're racing so hard to like be successful adults and like get through school. Like oh, I can't wait till I'm out of school and then I'll be free to do my own thing and can't wait to be on my own and blah 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 blah. But it's like there's so like there's things happening in the present that are good, like good too, or like the journey there. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like it's just interesting, like watching them and being like, I wonder what your life journey is gonna be, and like how to set yourself and others up for success in the best way you can. You know.
Definitely.
Yeah. I just around. I'm like, why are we paying for food and like places to live? Like this sucks. Like we should just try to make life easier for each other.
Yeah. I think it's crazy because like as humans we created this. Like we created rent. We created like having to pay taxes. Yeah. And I'm like, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We can work something else out, I think.
There's something else I've been thinking about too, like since moving here. Like this town has like a reputation, for a lot of people are kind of out for themselves, which, in a business like this where it's like a lot of who and, stuff like that is hard. It makes sense. But I don't know, like I like the part of me that doesn't just like assume the worst in people, and I don't want to view it as like a weakness. Like I don't have to assume the best either, but it's like I don't want to become the type of person who's like, I don't know, doesn't give someone a chance. And like I've been thinking about that a lot lately being here. Like I don't want to think of that as like a bad thing. That's something I have to change now that I live here. I don't know, like I've been thinking about stuff like that too. Like what are qualities about yourself that have changed over these 28 years that you're okay with, or some things that changed maybe not for great reasons either, kind of thing.
Definitely. I feel like I've been Jesus Christ.
What's going on? We're losing it.
You spit the coffee into my mouth, so it's stuck in my throat. Yes. I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know. We were just talking about like things that in yourself that have changed either for good reasons or bad reasons.
Yes. I feel like for me, I've been reflecting on this a lot of like, I feel like I've always searched for like the consistency in myself of like, I look back and I'm like, not much of me has changed outside of the fact of like, nothing in like internally has changed. It's been more being comfortable with that, I guess, of like being comfortable with who I am, I guess, on the inside. But then because I'm like questioning all these things of like people pleasing and like trying to, I don't know, I think it's like trying to balance like who I want to be versus who I am.
Okay.
And is there a way to marry those things? If that makes sense. Like, I guess, because, like, I think on the most superficial level, as, like, an example, I think it'd be so great to just know how to, like, socialize very well and be, like, super charismatic and be like, blah, 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 blah. But I don't think I'm that person. But is there a way for me to find ways to be that person in certain places?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just talking out of my ass right now.
But like that's the other thing about 28 is like you're fucking winging it. Like there's so much shit that I feel like I've realized this past year, but I don't know how to voice. It's like I know it in here, I know it in my head and my heart, but if I had to try to teach it to someone, I couldn't, because it's just like it's what's the word? Like abstract, and it's specific to you.
Yeah. Do you feel, I'm thinking, like, I think about, like, how we're going to be turning 30 soon and entering our 30s. For me, I feel like there is a huge, it feels like a reckoning that's about to happen of, like, more mental things that I'm going to have to sort out when I turn 30. But I don't know what that is. But I'm like, I feel like a wave is coming of, like, here's some more things you're going to have to figure out. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. To quote my love-hate relationship, Logan Huntsberger, it feels like there's a singular door and you're being pushed through it in a way. It's inevitable, it's coming. And I feel that too. Like there's a sense of transformation that's coming.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't know if it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I don't think, I'm excited to be in my 30s. But I think, yeah, there's like a fear of like the feelings it'll bring up.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't mean this to sound scary, but I honestly feel like parts of me are gonna die when I turn 30. Just like things I don't need anymore,
Sure.
I
yeah.
feel like in your 20s is weird because you're like, I'm kind of holding on to my younger self still, Whereas 30, you're really starting to enter like a more mature start of life. So I think there's gonna be things I'm gonna have to let go of in a way, and just let them rest, you know. It's, I don't know, and maybe we're like getting on our heads about it, but it feels big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm excited about it.
I think I am too. I think it's gonna be good. It just, wow. It's like funny, like me turning 20, I was like 30 is so far away and so old. Now I'm like 28 and I'm like, no, this makes sense. Like
yeah, I picture like the late 20s as like a baby adult, and then in our 30s we'll be like a teenage adult, and then maybe in our 40s we'll be like a adult, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a responsibility is like being given. I feel like when with 30, I think of it as like, I don't know, there's kind of like no excuse. You really need to have some of your shit figured out by now. Kind of deal.
Yeah, I guess, and even like I think like, yeah, there's that message, but I also think in my mind, I think it's like the idea of having your shit together is more in the sense of like that is meant it in a way of like so that it helps you, I guess, because things we're not aware of consciously that may come up as we get older, like the more we can like grow and be comfortable in ourselves sooner, the better like we'll be for the rest of life.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had a talk with my sister recently just about some stuff she was going through, and something she was saying kept bothering me, and I was like calling her out on it in the moment, but like the more I think on it, the more I was like, you know what, this is like something I've learned too. Is she was just like, I'm being dramatic, like I'm upset and over emotional, I'm being over dramatic, like blah blah blah. And I kept being like, no, like you're having feelings is not over dramatic. Certain actions you take as a consequence of those feelings can be over dramatic, but like having the emotions is not. And the most important part about having the emotions is learning to regulate and talk to yourself and deal with them. Like it's not bad to feel things, even if they suck, even if it hurts. Like it's so important to feel them, and you're not over dramatic for having these feelings. You know, that's not what would make me think that way. And I hate this idea of like, especially as somebody who like you know, over this past year I've learned I'm very very sensitive. um, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with it if you choose to not deal with it and make it other people's problem, but in my opinion, but there's nothing wrong with like, I need to just have like a meltdown by myself right now and like get through this feeling so I can get in my logical brain again. But I just like hate the idea of like, because I'm emoting, I am therefore dramatic. And I think like as a woman, that's been painful to hear, but also from like the male perspective, you're just taught not to feel like, and that it's a weak thing. And it's just, it's not it's important and it's human.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, feelings.
I've also learned like it's okay to change your mind. I feel like people get so stubborn and like set, and it's like, oh, I've committed to having this opinion and now I can't change it, or I've committed to doing this thing or being this way and it can't be changed. It's like that's not true. Like you're not. I think there's such a kind of the folly of the internet. I think a lot of the times is like if you like people who overshare and then, you know, like change something about their life, you're like immediately met with criticism. And it's like, if somebody didn't change at all over their lifetime, I would be fucking worried. Like if you didn't grow or change your opinions or learn new things or like, you know, shit like that, like that's troublesome. Like, you know?
Yeah, I saw recently, I saw a clip of randomly Jerry Seinfeld was like being interviewed, and he was like, there are statements I've made, um, like years ago that he was like, I regret saying now because they weren't true, and he was talking about like the whole like, um, being, oh, what was it? Like the idea of like, uh I forgot. It doesn't matter.
Some problematic opinion, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's the kind of like the rhetoric of like, um when you're like making jokes that are at the expense of someone else, like there's a lot of people now, they're like, that's not funny, and it's like it's too easy of a joke. Like you're just punching down, like it's not funny. And he used to say like, oh, it was like the lefts are killing comedy, was I think like the statement that he said years ago or something like that. Where it's like when you're being policed on your comedy, basically. It's like, no, actually, when it's at the expense of someone else, like that's not right. And also comedy, you need to be more observant of the world around you. And if you're making jokes like that, those are like easy jokes because they're mean and not correct. And like he was like just like kind of like saying like how he like learned and grew from like comments he used to make. And I was like, that's a great, like, I think it's important to make space for people to be like, yes, I was wrong, I've learned these new things, and like that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I've been hearing a lot more, instead of the term canceling, I've been hearing the term like deplatforming, which I feel like is such a better term for like people that are in the public eye, just to be like, if we don't like what they're saying, like it's not like a cancel thing. It's just like a, maybe you need to like take a step back, and like we don't need to give attention to this at the moment, kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that. I've always had an issue with cancel culture because, like, obviously it's important to hold people accountable. Oh, you froze for me. Oh, you're back. Okay, I'm sorry. You you like froze for me for a second. I think it's, well, and not just like other people. It's important to hold yourself accountable and learn from your mistakes. But again, another fault with the internet is like you slip up once and you're fucked. You know, like there's no. I feel like that's why people are so afraid to change opinions or change minds or change behaviors, is because they don't, like, being wrong is so world shattering. You know, and just like I feel personally, like, if you're wrong about something, you tend to feel defensive and like, oh, well, and it's like, we can't harbor that kind of thing. If we're going to have any type of open discussion or conversation, it needs to be like, oh, if I'm wrong, okay, I understand. Like, let me try to learn from this. Not like, I'm wrong, I'm just going to go fuck off in my like mansion for a while. You know what I mean? Like, it's, or like take a break from the internet. Like, I feel like it fosters too much of just like blame and get out of here, as opposed to like, well, are you gonna actually like learn and change from this? And it just needs to be okay to be like wrong about things and learn from them,
Definitely. Yeah.
Or like, it needs to feel better, it needs to feel like it's okay to admit you are wrong, because I feel like then people back themselves into corners and just like double down on bad opinions, because it's like they just don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, I'm wrong about a lot of shit constantly. It's just, I'm wrong about my own anxiety for like 10 years. It's just stupid. Yeah. And I used to know people who were like, if you if you disagreed with them, they would be on your ass about it. Like, why? Like, you're so stupid for thinking that way, or blah, blah. And I'm like, this doesn't make me want to be on your side at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what being in the right means. Fuck off. Like, I'll figure out a different way to be in the right without you. Like, it's okay to be wrong about things. It's fine.
Yeah.
From your shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else have we learned?
I feel like I've been learning to embrace like things that I enjoyed like as a kid, of like just like following my whims and being like, yes, I want to do this. Yes, this would be fun. Or like creating like the vibes I want to create every day, like on a daily basis is really nice. Like, what did I do yesterday? Or like on Friday, I was like, I'm gonna have a great day Saturday, so I'm just gonna play video games. And then I bought like cinnamon rolls for the morning. I bought these little appetizer things for lunch. And I was like just having like a great day, like just eating the things I like, playing video games that I enjoyed playing, and like just living in my own bliss. And it was great. And I think like I've enjoyed like trying to find ways to bring that stuff into my life.
Hell yeah. I love that. Yeah, I've been kind of I'm getting, I wouldn't say I figured this out, but something I realized over this year is like there's a difference between like rotting and like recharging. I feel like I'm trying so hard to find this balance between like sometimes I need to be by myself and like not be with other people and just do my own thing. But too much of that becomes like isolating and not getting done and lack of motivation and, you know, just too much of a good thing, right? Yeah. Learning self-control. Something else I was talking about with my sister is like, if you don't like how you're acting about things or reacting to things, like it's hard, but it helps to remember, like, if I don't want to repeat this pattern, I don't have to. Like, that's within my power to stop doing. It might not happen right away, but like I am totally capable of any change I want made.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if you feel like this too, like even be like having a good support system and like, you know, having things in your life that bring you joy. Like sometimes I find like adulthood to be like really lonely. Which
yeah,
a bunch of us.
Absolutely. That's what I previously did, like work drinks, and this is like while in the midst of like having my therapy session of being like, oh, as a kid I was like surrounded by people all the time and I never had a space to like recharge and reset, so I was constantly like overwhelmed and anxious. And then I was like, that was on my mind, went out for like drinks with people, and like socially I was like, oh, I'm experiencing what I always experience in social situations, which is like really tiring. And then I got home and I was like, okay, that felt very like, it felt very much like nothing has changed, and it feels like lonely in a way, even though I was having social interactions. There's something about it that feels so lonely. And then I'm like, is it me not being vulnerable enough and like kind of closing myself off, or is it just like, I don't know what it is. But I think also I'm a person that like it takes a longer time to like open up, I guess. Not even open up, because I feel like I'm pretty straightforward, but like to feel that comfortability of what the relationship is and what like the establishment of that relationship is. I feel like I rambled on a tangent, but yes, loneliness.
Go Sarah Ford, ramble Sarah Ford. No, I agree. Yeah, it's like I think it was I can't even remember now. Was it last episode we talked about this, like alone versus lonely? Like it's weird. Like you don't have to be alone to feel. You don't have to actually physically be alone to still feel lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I find myself more lonely in social situations than when I'm alone, which is odd. Or might not be odd, but yeah.
I don't think it is, because I experienced that too. Like I don't know. I'm still going through this phase where like for so long I felt like I needed to be like performative in a way in social situations. Like I need to be up and happy and a fun person to be around, and I have to be funny, and like yes, that is great qualities obviously to have in like a person you're hanging out with. But like that doesn't mean I have to be not like, it didn't feel like I was being me. It felt like I was playing some version of me to be well received. And then when people would say things like, oh yeah, like you're fun when you're like drinking, or it's like you're fun when you're like out and about and blah blah, it's like I think I'm fun all the time because of the shit I like do when I hang with myself, you know. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's so hard to feel like you can just be like you around people, especially as an adult, because I feel like something else I've we might have talked about before is like feeling like you kind of put yourself in a corner as like this type of person, and then when you're trying to like show more of your real quote unquote self, then it's like, I don't know, like I struggled with feeling fake for so long, like I am a happy person, but I'm not like this 100 all the time. Like this is the most I gotta give today, and that's fine because I'm giving it all I got. But I don't know.
Yeah, that made me think of I feel like something I've been wanting to work on, or like not even wanting to work on, but I feel like it's like a social thing of like kind of like there's like a social, I don't know if it's an expectation, pressure, uh reality, I don't know, but of like people like downplaying their own like qualities and strengths of things, and like and maybe it has to do with like feelings as well, but like just kind of like downplaying themselves. And I feel like I've been trying really hard, like I've been wanting to like combat that in a way. Like I feel like I enjoyed when you said like you have fun like playing with yourself, you have fun like on in your own you have fun being on your own, like alone, you have fun with that. And I'm like, yes, me too. Like for me, I'm like, I don't see a problem with like how I spend my time. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy all the activities I do, the crafts I do. I have a great time. And I feel like when I share, or like when people like discover something I make, like I crocheted something, they go, oh, I could never do that. I'm like, well, that's not true. Like we don't have to downplay, like I don't know. I feel like people put themselves down in social situations, and I'm interested in like creating a space where it's like we don't have to put ourselves down to like socially relate to each other. I feel like we can like just bring our qualities and let that be that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think it does. Yeah. Yeah. Because like that's where the fun is in the variety. Like I don't know, like I know we joke all the time about like we're basically the same person, but like we are also very different people, and like I find so much joy when I find things that are similar between us, but also when we have differences, you know? Like that's important and fun to me too. And so it's like I wouldn't want someone to feel like they had to like put it on just to like feel like they're fun. It's like, no, just,
yeah.
Like if you're gloomy, great. If you're good mood, awesome. It's like, fuck it, I don't care. The people who care aren't gonna. People who really care about you aren't gonna care.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, just gotta find your people. And you're just making me think of something else too. Is I was just watching Modern Family recently, and there's like an episode where Mitchell talks about this, and he puts it so perfectly, where it's like, I grew up feeling weird for like liking anime and shit like that. Like that's stuff people used to make fun of us for, like me and my friends for liking, and now it's like cool to watch it. And I'm like, you jerks.
Yeah.
You know, like finding people as I grew who had similar interests to me, like God, how'd they put it? It's like the things that make you weird, like end up making you like cool to the people you find likenesses with, and like finding your people is like so important. And even if it's just like one person, you know,
very true,
because they're out there.
Yeah, very, very true.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to anything at 30? Like, is there, I don't know, is there something like, how am I trying to phrase this? I don't know. Just because I feel a lot of dread with 30, but I'm just wondering if there's hope there somewhere also.
I feel like I imagine turning 30 is going to turn into like me giving like less and less fucks, you know? Like I feel like just as you get older, you start to realize the things that like you felt like you cared about don't actually like aren't the things that are important. There's like things around it that might be important. So like I'm excited to like explore that and see what things I don't need to carry with me anymore. And I'm excited to like be in my 30s and like still have fun, I guess. Like still do things that whether it seems like childish or not, like just to have fun. I think I'm excited about doing just being like, yeah, I'm 36 and I'm dancing my ass off at an ABBA concert or something. Yeah, I'm just trying to find ways to like have fun, even getting older, I guess.
I like that. Me too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to like how I'll change. I hope honestly.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I never would have wanted to hope that before, but I'm excited for what that's gonna bring.
Yeah. Growth.
Hopefully. Good growth.
Yeah. And sometimes it's okay to be dormant.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm ready for something different in my brain.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like that's how I entered 28. Like, I feel like the month of March, I like shaved my head. And then for my birthday, I got a tattoo. I got a nose piercing and then decided I need to get the other one pierced as well. And like, just like my birthday itself was very much like a day of like, these are activities I enjoy. And I invited like my friends to like do them with me. And I thought like that was like a really nice, like signifying thing for my 28th year of being like, I'm finding the things I enjoy and I want to bring people along with me for those things.
I love that.
I want to keep doing that.
Yeah, I went into this year really hoping to like grow as a person, and like there definitely is more work to be done, but the progress I have seen in myself, I'm so proud of, and like I'm hoping that just continues on and becomes a little easier every year. So hopefully by 30 I will be ready for this kind of you need to have your shit together moment.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Woo. Well, I like that. Any last thoughts to share on being 28?
I feel like 28 feels like a roller coaster, but I think there's positives to take from it. I feel like I spent a lot of time laughing on my own, and then there were lows as well, but lows that like welcomed growth.
Yeah.
To go in a positive direction.
And we started the podcast again.
We did. Yeah. That was great. Great thing to happen at 28.
Yeah. A lot of good things. A lot of good things around us. It's nice to remember sometimes.
Yeah. Great.
Where were we today?
Oh. Sitting at a kitchen table.
Yeah, with like a cup of tea or something.
Yeah.
Coffee mug of bourbon.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I feel like 28 feels like how this episode's journey was of starting off spitting coffee out and crying for like 10 minutes and then out of laughter and just not being able to hold our composure.
And then kind of muddling our way through and finding it at the end. Yeah. It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Welcome to 28.
Amazing. All right. Well, are we done?
Yeah, we'll catch you next week.
Yeah. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.